Hey guys! Welcome back again to my channel for another Gunpla kit review. In today's review, I will be talking about a model kit from one of the classic Gundam series, presenting the Master Grade Turn A Gundam, the main mobile suit from the classic 1999 anime television series, Turn A Gundam. So, to start with, this particular kit is the 100th Master Grade Bandai has released. This model kit was released way back in August 2007. But even though this kit is already more than 10 years old, that doesn't mean that this model kit is terrible. Also, since this is a model kit that belongs to the protagonist of the series, you can see that this one has that traditional Gundam colors. Those are the white, blue, yellow, and red. And of course, the obvious thing that makes the Turn A Gundam unique among its other Gundam relatives, and that would be its goofy mustache. Okay, so before we proceed to the articulation, let me just mention that I have built this kit straight out of the box with some effort put into it, such as panel lines. Obvious knob marks and seam lines are visible as the review progresses, so I do sincerely apologize to you viewers for that in advance. Anyways, let's now talk the kit's articulation. Okay, now let's talk the head's articulation. So it can go up by this much, and it can go down, and it can go side to side. The head can also rotate 360 degrees. So there. Now, let's proceed to the arms. So, as you can see here, the shoulder armor itself is separated or independent from the kit's whole arm. And this part of the shoulder armor can go up like that. So, I guess to make room for the kit's arms when you raise it up like this. So, there. It can also raise like this. And sadly, you cannot go rotate it 360 degrees since the shoulder guard blocks it. The elbows are kind of double jointed, so the armor just blocks it. And you have that arm swivel like here. So there. And moving on to the wrist and hands. So the wrist section has this range of motion. It can go up and down. And this kit has articulated fingers. So there. But not the 3.0 kind of ones though. Okay, so moving to the back side of the shoulder armor. So this part here can rotate like that. So this part actually is where you store the beam handles. Going on to the kit's torso. So the body can go sideways like that. And rotation is possible. So you can, as you can see, it can perform that ab crunch and arching back like that. And here's a neat gimmick on the kit's torso. So as you can see here, the torso houses several missiles in it. So all you have to do is flip those panels in the at the center of the torso and you will see hidden missiles underneath it. Too bad that these missiles are fixed inside and there are no effect parts to simulate any firing action. Now let's talk the kit's waist section. So actually, the waist part of the kit is where you can actually see the mini pilot figure or the cockpit of the kit. So as you see here, that section with the clear yellow piece is actually a core fighter, and inside the clear yellow piece is the pilot itself. So for you to be able to deploy the core fighter, so you have to remove this piece first, then turn it on this side and rotate those front skirts armor all the way to the back like that, and do the same thing also on the other side. So there. So once you have done that, go back to the clear yellow piece, then just slightly rotate it upward. So there. So be careful not to remove that clear yellow piece. And there. You now have the core fighter for the Turn A Gundam. So once the core fighter is attached onto the waist area, so you can raise the front skirt armor like that. The side skirts can also move up by that much, and rotation is possible. And as you can see here, there were no back skirt armor. Going onto the legs, so as you can see here, it can kick forward like that, and it can kick all the way to the back. And let me just fix it. So there. So since the side skirt can move all the way up, you can perform a perfect split. So there. The kit also has this thigh swivel, as you can see here, but due to the size of the thigh armor on it, it is somewhat limited. The knee, so the knee here is double jointed, as you can see. And going to the ankle guard, so this particular part right on the ankle, so it can go down and up like that, and as you move that part, you can also see some of the details of the inner frame to move as well. Now to the feet. So actually the feet, so let me just focus my camera. So here, so the feet, come on, focus, there. So for the feet, it can go up by this much, and it can go all the way down like that. So there. And lastly, it has that ankle pivot. Posability is great. Given that this kit is released more than a decade ago, you can still make great poses with it. Now let's talk the kit's accessories and leftover parts. First, you got this pair of beam blade effect parts. They easily slide into the handle, as you can see here. And once the Gundam has wielded it, so it really makes a decent impression of a beam saber. So here, a sample pose of Turn A Gundam wielding its twin beam sabers. Next is the Gundam's beam rifle. So the handle is on this side, so just twist it down like that, and you just have to attach it on the peg on the Gundam's hand for it to be able to wield it. So there. So here is how the Gundam would look like wielding the beam rifle. Another way of handling the beam rifle is by accessing this part and giving it a little twist like this. So there. And there you have it. Another pose for the Gundam when it's wielding its beam rifle. Next is the Gundam's shield. So attaching the shield only requires for you to slide it on the forearm section like that, and you will now have your Turn A Gundam doing some defensive poses. When not in use, the Gundam's beam rifle and its shield can be stored at the back of its shoulder armor, as you can see here. This is actually a nice feature since you won't be having problems as to where you are going to store these two weapons elsewhere when you're not using it. The last weapon that we will be talking about is the Hyper Hammer. So here is the Turn A Gundam wielding the Hyper Hammer. So as you can see, it looks kind of intimidating actually. But as you can see, this is the least practical weapon to use or to display it with, since you will need to support those chains, and the only thing that I can think of is by just buying another action base. As to leftover parts, you have a pair of fixed open spread hands, a mini pilot figure, a mini cow figure to recreate one of the scenes in the anime, an alternate armor piece for the torso, and lastly, an action base connector if you want this kit airborne. So for the verdict and my thoughts on this kit. For me, this is a very good kit. For something that has been released more than 10 years ago, this kit offers a lot of playability. Also, this kit really has that classic mecha anime vibe to it, which is a plus. Does this kit need a 2.0 version or its own version of the recent Master Grade Extreme line? I think not. This kit is already excellent as it is. So, if by any chance you have encountered this kit, I highly suggest to grab it and add it to your collection. And that's it for the review. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have liked it, please drop a comment on the comment section below and don't forget to subscribe. So, I guess I'll be seeing you guys on the next review. See ya!